Okay, I think we are going to start now. So welcome everybody to the TopWorksheet webinar. Today I'm going to explain you all the platform step by step and from scratch. So in less than 1 hour, more or less, you will be able to use perfectly TopWorksheet. My name is Cristina, and I hope you really enjoy this webinar, this conference, and that is very useful for all of you now on. Okay, so the first thing I want you to know is what is TopWorksheet. TopWorksheet is a platform, a web, that allows you to create interactive worksheets from scratch. So traditional exercises from all the life, you can digitalize them and make them interactive. TopWorksheet has many advantages. For example, that you don't need specific digital skills to understand the editor. You can choose between 1 million worksheets from other teachers. And the most important thing is that all the worksheets can be auto-graded. This means that they correct themselves. So this is very important because the teacher saves a lot of time not having to correct them one by one. Okay, so first of all, if you want to enter in TopWorksheet, you just have to write 3 Ws, topworksheet.com, and this would be the main page. Here you can choose the language, and this is like the main interface. The first thing you have to do is sign up. If you don't have an account, you just have to create one. It's very simple. You have to click here and fill all the fields and sign up. The next step will be that you have to verify your email, and that will be all. You just have to put your email, your password, and your name. In my case, I have an account, and I just have to log in. A second. Okay. Before I explain you how to create a worksheet, I want to explain you a little bit about the platform. So I'm going to explain you these 3 buttons, and then I'm going to show you how to create a worksheet. If we click in interactive worksheet, we can access to all the worksheets that we can duplicate from other teachers. Here are all the worksheets from the platform. And this is very useful because we can copy any of the worksheet if we don't have time to create one. This is one thing that TopWorksheet has really useful, and it's very easy to do. For example, this one, natural science. We go into the worksheet, we see if we like it, in this case, imagine that yes, and we just have to click here and copy worksheet to my account. And copy. And automatically the worksheet would be copied to our account if we don't have time to create one. Okay, so this is all the worksheet we can access, and here is the searcher. Here we have all the subjects. We can choose the language, of course, and we can put filters. If we can search worksheets directly, put in the words by country, by the school level, school grade, and even age. Okay, so it's very intuitive and simple to look for worksheets in this platform. The next button here will be the community. This is like a forum, like a space where you can ask any doubt you have, any questions, and other teachers and the support team will always answer to you. And the most important thing is that you can ask for help, but you also can be like informed of the last novelties that have the platform. Here are written all the novelties, and weekly you can know how much novelties have that week, how they function, etc. To create a question is really simple. You just have to create new question, put the title, write your message, and create them. And the last button is up here, that is the help. And one of the best things that the worksheet has is that it has all the help written. So if you have any kind of question, you just have to go to the help, and here will be explained everything. For example, create and edit worksheet. Inside, you can choose between all these questions, for example, multiple choice field. And here with text and image will be everything explained. In case your question is not here, you can always get an additional help here, asking in the community or directly contacting with us, with the support team. And now, yes, I'm going to explain you how the editor works, how we can make a worksheet so that our students can answer them and submit to us. So we just have to go to our account and create a new worksheet. The first thing that is going to appear as is this question, asking you if you want to start a worksheet from scratch on a blank page, or if you prefer to upload an image or PDF. I'm going to use the second one, and look how many ways to upload an image or a PDF you have. In this case, I'm going to upload a file directly from my computer. You just have to choose it, and the image will be uploaded. Before I explain you all this, I want to show you that if you want to add more pages, like in this case, because I want to show you all the tools, and with just one worksheet, I can't, you just have to click here in Add Page and repeat the process. You can see that it's very intuitive. Add page. In this case, I'm going to upload 4 pages. And the last one with the same steps that we have just done. Okay, so now the four worksheet will be uploaded. And for example, if you have, if you want to move one page because you don't like the order, you just have to click here in this little wheel and move the order. But in this case, we are going to leave it like that, like this way, because I am interested to be like that. Okay, so the first tool of the editor is the answer. With this tool, the student will just have to answer the question that is being asked. So with the tool selected, we go to the first exercise, that is fill the gaps. So with the left button of the mouse, we just have to create a box and put here the answer. In this case, January. January is the first month of the year, and that will be done. You can see that is really simple. Let's do it again. In winter, it's berry. We make another box. In TopWorksheet, everything works by boxes, okay? And we write here in the left, cold. And that's all. And for the last one, when there are clouds, it can rain, and we create a box again and put here snow. It's not the case, but if you want to, if there is more than one available answer, you can always click here and add a second correct answer, okay? So whatever the student answer will be correct, whether the first one or the second one, okay? And here you can also always change the score of each question. In this case, we want that all of them is 1 point, but if we want, we can also put 2 points, whatever. We just have to click here and change it, okay? But in this case, we're going to leave it 1 point. So you have seen that the first tool is really simple and really easy to use, okay? The second one is about choosing the correct answer between variables. So we just have to go to the next tool, that is the selector. And it works the same way as the previous one. We just have to create boxes by clicking and dragging, and we can always change the size, okay? And here, the same thing, we just have to write the correct answers. For example, here will be summer. The second option would be spring. The third one, autumn. And the fourth one would be winter. And in this case, the correct one would be summer because of the sun. And we just have to mark the correct answer. And that's all. If we click here in the iSample, we can preview it, how the worksheet is going and what the student will see. So look how cool would be for the student to choose between the right answer. It's really easy for them and for us. And I'm going to show you a little trick, because here, for example, we will have to write the four options 4 times. But with this little trick, if we copy and paste it, we don't have to do it all again. We just have to, having select this one, change the correct answer, in this case, spring. We paste it again. This is a way to save time, okay? And we will mark the correct answer again. And we paste the last one. And we mark the third option. You see that it's really easy to use. And look, in case that the answer will have more than 4, you just have to write it, clicking here. Okay, so this tool would be the selector. The third one is the join. This is usually to match concepts with definitions or image or whatever we want. In this case, definitions with their image. Really easy to use, as always. We just have to make a box by clicking and dragging. It's windy in the join number 1, and the answer will be here. We make the second box, and automatically the joint, the match will be done. The same with the second one, box and box. Done. And for the third one, exactly the same. This is one of the easiest one, because you just have to make boxes, and the joint is made automatically. And look how would be the result. The student will just have to click and drag wherever is correct. Okay, so the first worksheet will be done, and we go to the next one. In this case, the first exercise is about choosing if these statements are true or false. So for this one, we are going to choose the multiple choice. And we just have to make 2 little boxes where the T and the F are. One here and the second one here. And in this case, we just have to check the one that is correct. Penguin lives in cold areas. We mark the true and check it. And that's all. The same with the second one. Lions have feathers. We make the two little boxes, and very important here, to change the identifier. We have to associate it with a new question, okay? Because if not, they would count as the previous one, okay? So you can see that the color had changed, and so it's easier for us to see them. In this case, lions have feathers, false. We mark the F and check the option. The same with the third one. The only handicap of this one is that you have to bear in mind and keep in mind all the time that you have to associate with a new question each time. Turtles have shells, true, and mark. It's simple, but you just have to remember this little issue. This case 4. At the end, it's really easy because the color is warning you all the time. So in theory, you don't have to that the worksheet is telling you all the time, I can come to the word. And we check this option, okay? Perfect. If we go to the preview, look how it would be. And the student will just have to choose. This has many possibilities. This is an exercise of true or false, but you can put whatever you want between the things they have to choose. The next tool would be the drag and drop. This is one of the most popular because children love this type of exercises. For example, in this case, they will have to drag the products of each animal to each animal. So with the tool selected, we have to make a first box in the first answer, leaving in the drag, and go to the answer, to the correct one, where they have to drop them. Make here the second box and mark here the drop, okay? And the drag and drop will be done. The same with the second one. We make a box in the honey, we leave the drag, and we make a second box in the bee. And here, that is where they have to drop it. We mark the drop. And the same process with the last one, with the wool. We make a box, we leave the drag, because it's the element they have to drag, and we make a second box in the sheep and drop it. If we preview it again, look how it be the result. The student will just have to drag and drop. This is a very interactive exercise that have success in between the students. Okay, the next one will be the word search. You can see that here we don't have an image in the background, but we don't need it because TopWorksheet create it from zero, from scratch. We just have to select the worksheet and I'm going to make a big box so students can find the 4 animals better. Here, we just have to put the number of rows and columns we want them to have it. And even we can choose the color of the cells. And we just have to generate the worksheet manually. And here is the generator. This is really simple, and you just have to choose the orientation you want to the worksheet, to the words to be searched, In this case, I'm going to leave this way in horizontal direction. I don't want the vertical direction, nor the diagonal, nor the backwards. And here we just have to write the names of the animal, the words, whatever the words you want the students to search. Okay, in this case, the question was asking for 4 animals. Sorry, modify. You can always modify it, and you just have to write it. In this case, cow, cat, dog, and sorry again. You just have to click here. I don't know, bird, for example. And now, yes, you just have to generate. You can see that where before it was a blank space, now there is a word search. Look how it turned out. And the student will just have to click and look for the words that you have written. This one is one of the most fun exercises, as you can imagine. Okay, so the second worksheet will be done, and we go to the third one. In this case, the next tool will be the draw. The first exercise is asking to draw how your ideal vacation would be like. So this is the most easy tool, because you just have to make, I'm going to make a big box, and that will be ready. You can see that the student, if we preview it, the student would have all this space to start drawing. They just have to click and write and draw whatever they want. They can choose between the colors, the size of the pencil, and here they can erase whatever they want. The next one will be the voice answer. This is also very one of the most interactive tools, because they just have to talk. In this case, we have 3 answers. So we make 3 boxes, one for the first answer, the second for the second one, and the third for the last one. And that's all. It's really simple. You just have to drag, click, drag, and the box will be done. If we preview it again, look how it would appear to the student. They will just have to click to start the voice record and start. In this case, which country would you like to travel to? Why? I would like to travel, for example, to Japan. And they just have to click again here to finish the recording. And that's all. And with the next one, with the image answer, the next tool, the same thing. What 3 things will you take on a trip? Is exactly the same. But in this case, well, we make the 3 boxes. And in this case, the student will just have to click here and upload an image from its device. It's really simple. And we have finished to the third worksheet. We go to the fourth, and now we go to the text. You can yes, you can see that we have finished all the tools, and now is the text turn. The first one is the text. This is only like a writing that you can put in a worksheet if you want to communicate whatever you want to your students. For example, I'm going to put here, you just have as always with the box, create a box, and right here, whatever you want is information, and the student wouldn't be able to interact with this. It will be just a message in the worksheet. In this case, I'm going to put, for example, good luck. And here, you can change the letter, the font, the size, the color, whatever you want. You can put it in bold. And this will be the message. The next one is the formula. This is one of the most recent tools, because we are being asked a lot about this one, and now is available. For example, in the first exercise of this worksheet, we have 4 boxes. So we just have selecting the formula. We just have to create a first box. And here, choose between all the formula questions or mathematical notation that we want. In this case, for example, I want the square root of 9. Here, I can change the size. And that will be done. You can see that you can choose between all this notation that you want. You just have to click and write the number and change here, of course, the size. You can see that this exercise would have to be complete with the answer. It's really simple. We just have to go to the answer again and make here a box and write the answer. In this case, 3, and in the second one, 5. And look how will it turn out. Complete the exercises, the square root of 9. They just have to write here 3, and the square root of 25, 5. And the message that we have written. Okay, the next tool is the link. This is very interesting because you can always add extra and additional information to a worksheet. In this case, look, first of all, I'm going to make a box like this. And in this case, we're talking about maths, about the square roots, and I have find out a blog, a web that is talking about that, the square and the square root, with questions. They explain it with examples. So I like it, and I want my students to read this blog. Well, you just have to copy it, go to the editor, and here in the URL, paste it. If you don't want to this 3W text to be displayed, you can always change it. Clicking here, and for example, I'm going to right click here to know more, to learn about square roots. And look how cool will turn out. And as always, you can change everything you want, so it's more attractive to the student to click. The student will just have to click here and will be redirected to the blog that we have just added. In my opinion, this is a very useful tool. It can have many uses. Okay. The next one, we have finished the text size, and we go to the media. The first one is the image. We can always add image to our worksheet. I think that this is more thinked to that worksheet that are made from scratch, but you can always illustrate your worksheet so it is prettier and attractive for the students. For example, we have here this blank space, don't we? So we just have to select the image, make a box as always, and upload an image from wherever we want. In this case, I'm going to upload this one and change the size. So my worksheet is prettier for the students and just more attractive for them to do maths. You can add whatever you want. In this case, I'm adding this image. The next one is the YouTube video. This is really enjoyable for the student because you are going to see it. It's like the drawing one. You just have to drag and make a big box. I like in the YouTube video tool make big boxes because in this case they can see the video bigger. Sorry. So you just have to go to YouTube. In this case, I have chosen this video, copy the URL. This video is about the square root tricks because the worksheet is about maths. So I have chosen it. So you copy the link and paste it here, and the video will be displayed. In this case, you can see that the question is, watch the following video and take notes. In this case, we go again to the answer and make here another box so they can make here the notes they want, and we can leave it in blank, and that will be an open answer logically. And look how cool would be for the students to see the video. They just have, it's really easy because they just have to click and the video will be displayed. Sorry about my Wi-Fi. Well, anyways, it will be displayed. They don't have the necessity to go to YouTube. They can watch the video inside the worksheet. Okay, the next one is the audio. We can always record audios in the editors and let the student hear whatever we want. For example, we can record instructions or whatever we want, but in this case, for example, I'm going to record. Well, we make the boxes as always. And I'm going to, look all the kind of options you have to record or to add an audio. You can upload file, add file from the link, or get a file from Google Drive. But in my opinion, the best one is that you can record your voice directly here from the editor. So we just have to start the recording, and the question was, sorry, listen and draw the correct answer. For example, I'm going to say a square root of 16. It will be automatically uploaded, and the student here will just have to write We have to complete it. Well, draw. Okay, it's telling us that is small, so we have to make it a little bigger. Okay, and look how it turned out. In this case, listen, Andrea, go relax. And the student will just have to write the answer. And that would be everything. The same with the second one. Always selecting the audio. Starting a voice recording and a square root of 49. And again, we go to the answers, to the draw option, make a big box, and the student will just have to play it. The square root of 49. And draw the correct answer. Okay, so the last one is the here, the figure. This, like the image, in my opinion, is created more for those worksheets that are made from scratch, from a blank page that don't have image in the background. But anyways, they work as everything here with boxes. For example, here we make one, we create them, and we can change the color, okay? And then we can change wherever we want it. It's a way to illustrate a worksheet. So we have finished the 4 worksheets. You can see that it's we have used all the tools. It has been very fast. You don't need a specific knowledge. You can see that all the platform is very intuitive. And the last thing inside the editor are the settings. Here you can adjust all the configuration of the worksheet. For example, here, well, this is just information. It's telling you that the worksheet total score is 30. And the question number are 30. But for example, if we have changed the score of, for example, this question, we want to, no, this one. If we change it here and we put 2, you can see in the settings that the total score have changed, okay? This is just informative. The next thing will be the aspect settings that you can change by default, or the font size and the color. So you don't have to change it one by one every time you write it. You can change here the size and the color. And the last thing is the auto-grading rules. This is very important because, for example, if we don't want the worksheet, when the automatic correction is done, to take into account the accents, you have to mark, for example, here, ignore accents, or ignore punctuation, but don't ignore uppercase. So, for example, if a student writes an answer without an uppercase and is wrong, it will be corrected wrong, okay? This is very interesting and very important to keep in mind. And this will be done. The next thing would be putting a title. In this case, I'm going to close that. I don't know, for example, science and maths. And we just have to save it. Here is the editor to save it, and you have to choose between draft, public, and private. In this case, we want public because we would like to share it with our students. Here we can choose the language. In this case, is English. Select the subject. I have made a mix, but for example, I'm going to choose natural science and select a matter that is going to be, I don't know, animals, for example. And here is the worksheet classification. In this case, Spain, which is where I'm from, school level, primary education, and I'm going to select, I don't know, for example, the 3rd grade. This is automatically written, and you can always write a description and put tags. As you know, we have some open-ended questions, like the one of taking notes of the YouTube video, and it's asking us if we are sure to continue, because that question specific that is open, we will have to correct by hand. And now I'm going to show you. So yes, we continue. The rest would be corrected automatically, but the one that opens, we will have to correct it one by one, okay? And the worksheet will be done and ready to our students to make them, okay? The second part of all this is that now that we have created a worksheet, we would like our student to complete them. So we have to share with them. The first option, well, you have here all the options you can, a worksheet has, okay? The first one is the link to this worksheet. Everyone who has this link can have access to it. Okay, so the first option will be share worksheet with a student. That is what we are interested in. We just have to click, and here are all the options that we have to share it. For example, we have options of this one, this first one. Allow students to view the correct answer after finishing the worksheet. In this case, yes, I would be interested because I like my students to learn of their errors. The second one, allow students to send comments when finishing the worksheet. Okay, why not? If they want to tell me something, they can always write it. All worksheet questions must be answered. No, I'm not interested because maybe some students don't know the answer of some questions, and I don't want it. So you can see that you can choose this type of options. You have always to choose a group. In this case, you can choose between all the groups you have. I'm going to choose this one, for example. And here we have the score system. You know that you can, in TopWorksheets, I'm going to show you later, you can have a score system personalized, so that you can do it by yourself and choose the correction, the grades that are calculated. But in this case, I'm going to leave it with the default score system that is over 10, okay? You can always choose the number of times the worksheet can be done. For example, 1 per student, logically, and allow a time range. For example, if there is an exam, you want to, whoever that has the link can start the exam and you choose the date. For example, I don't know, today at 9, okay? Well, yes, well, I don't know why this is, well, whatever. You can choose here everything, okay? And if you want the worksheet to have a duration, you just have to write it here in minutes. For example, 60. If you want that they complete the worksheet in 1 hour. And we generate the link. Vale. Ah, okay. I'm sure that this time, well, okay, we're going to erase this and generate the link. And now the link is created. So this is the custom link with all the options we have just chosen. If we copy and paste it and share it with our students, they can start the worksheet. And here we have all the options we have to share the worksheet. For example, here, this is a code to embed. If we have, for example, a blog or a external web, we can always paste it and the student will be able to go to the worksheet through your own page, okay? We can share it by Telegram, WhatsApp, email, even with a QR code, and with code, Microsoft Teams, and Google Classroom. But I'm going to explain this more slowly. Okay, you have seen that we have almost a dozen ways to share a worksheet with our students. And the second one is this one, publish worksheet as a Google Classroom assignment. I know that this is important to many of the teachers because many of you, of the educators, use Google Classroom. So this is very useful. We just have to click here, choose an account, in this case, my account, let TopWorksheet all the permissions, and the options that we are offered are almost the same that the previous link. For example, assignment status. In this case, I'm going to publish it. And these are the same questions that we have just asked before. Default system, 10, maximum number of times, exactly the same, okay? We just have to create the assignment. And the Google Classroom assignment would be done. If we go to Google Classroom, here, to our class, you can see that I have just published the worksheet, science and maths. So the students will be able to answer it through Google Classroom. Okay. The next option will be this button, download as a PDF. TopWorksheet is made for doing it online. But if for whatever reason you need to print it, you just have to click here and the worksheet will be downloaded to your computer or to whatever device you are using. Okay. Look here. We have the PDF. And the students will be able to use it physically. The next one is a new button that we have added like a few weeks ago. and tell us the stats, the statistics of the worksheet. In this case, well, in this case, we have just created it, but it tells you the number of submissions you have received and the times this worksheet has been shared by other teachers. It's just like a extra information of the worksheet, so you can control everything. The next one would be the embed in my website. This is what I have just shown you in this option, that you can copy this and paste it in your own blog or in your own web, wherever you want. It's like the code. Here, the same as before, that you can share directly the worksheet in this social media. You can always add to favorites your worksheet. In this case, it doesn't make sense because it's my own worksheet, but it's an option very interesting when, for example, you see a worksheet from another teacher that you have really liked. So you just have to add to favorites. And if you go to my account, to my favorites, it will be here. It's like a faster way to look for a worksheet that you have liked. In this case, I'm going to remove it because it's my own worksheet. The same with this option, duplicate worksheet. It doesn't make sense because it's my own worksheet, but as I have shown you in the beginning, you can always duplicate it from another teacher if you don't have time of creating one. So you save time, duplicate a worksheet from another teacher, and you can use it. The next button is the folder, move to folder. You just have to click and select the folder you want to move this worksheet to. In this case, I'm going to move to mathematics. Move to folder. If we go to my account, to my worksheets, here are the folders. You can always add new folders, so you can have everything organized. Click it, and here would be the worksheet. Okay, the next button will be the edit worksheet. This is very important because if we notice that anything is wrong, we can always click there and change anything that we don't like it, okay? We have always this option, and we can remove whatever we see that is not correct. And the last one will be the deleting worksheet, that if for any reason you don't want it anymore, you just have to click here and the worksheet will be deleted from your account. Okay, so I haven't explained you all this, how to create a worksheet, all these options, and the last thing would be these options of my account. Okay, the first one is my worksheet that I have just shown you. This is where well, you can see that I have a lot of worksheets in draft option. And here you have all your worksheets, and you can organize them in folders or search it by language, subject, whatever you want here. It's a way to have your worksheet organized. The second one, we have seen it, that is my favorite worksheet. I'm going to leave this one to the end, okay? Here we have my custom links, it's like a register of all the custom links that we have sent to our students with their statistics, with everything. If they have the score system, anything. It's like a register of all the custom links that we have shared with our students. The next button will be My Groups. Here you can write all the groups you have. So you can have, when you send your worksheets, have it organized by groups. You can always create a new group here and edit the ones that you want. For example, I have finished this one because was a group from last year, so I'm not interested anymore to be active. So you just have to, for example, click here in Finish Group, and it will appear like this way. You can always see the statistics of the groups. For example, third of primary, if you click it, you can see the average grade group per student, the grades of each one, the grade per worksheet you have shared with them. This is very interesting because you can see if one worksheet has been very difficult or has been really easy to your students. And the list of student submissions that have sent to you their worksheet done, okay? This is inside the statistics of my groups. The next one will be my score system, the things that I have told you before. In this case, I have 2. And you can add whatever you want. This is to customize like the score system, for example, this one. You can write them the name, the maximum score you want for the worksheet, to be graded, the round mode, if you want to be round nearest, down or up. This is the most interesting thing, the most important thing, because it's asking you to show or note the numeric grade. For example, I have marked here, don't show it, only show the finite text and or image. In this case, the score wouldn't be shown when a student do a worksheet and is auto-graded. And instead, for example, instead of 0, it would be muy mal, that in English is really bad. When they get a 1 out of 3, they would be like, you have to improve. The 2 would be good, and the 3 would be excellent. But you can always choose image also to upload instead of text or a score. It's like a very customized system to score your students. Okay, here in the recycle bin would be the next button. You can see all the worksheet that you have deleted. It will be saved 13 days and then will be definitely removed. That's just in case you want to get a worksheet that you have erased. Here is another searcher for worksheets, like the one I showed you before here. And this is more technical buttons, for example. My inbox that I have told you that I wanted to show you to the last one. Here, okay, this will be the third part of all this. The first one, you create the worksheet. The second, you share it with your student. And the third one, when the student have done the worksheet, the process of recite it. So you just have, when the student have answered it, automatically would be sent to your inbox. So you just have to click. And here would be all the submissions from your students, auto-graded. For example, here we have one with the customized score system. And here you have all the options that you can do with a corrected worksheet. You can download it, mark as unread, download a certificate that has been done, and delete the submission or view the worksheet. You can see that the grade is done, and this grade would be automatically imported to my groups. So you just will have to go to my groups and see how many students have sent to you the worksheet, what grade have they take, and everything. And these are the technical buttons. Sorry. For example, here is the edit profile that you can change your email. You can change the language, your country, the time zone you want. Here you can select which are your groups. So the worksheet you search or you look for would be easier to look. Here the configuration, you have many options to receive the worksheet communications, the activity email, and things about your public page. That is the next thing I'm going to show you. This is more social. You just have to click. And this in TopWorksheet, you can have like a social profile. So anybody that like a lot your worksheet, they can always go to your profile, and here you can put a photo, a picture of yourself. You can write whatever you want about you, put your social media, and here would be collected all your worksheet, okay? And here, this is the next thing I'm going to show you. It's like the budget, the badge of your level in TopWorksheet. That here in my certifications. One of the best things that TopWorksheet has is that you can learn how to use the platform at your own pace. So we have different levels that you can complete wherever you want at your own pace. And you can learn step by step how to use every tool of the platform. There are 3 levels, the beginner, the intermediate, and the advanced. If you pass all of them, you are getting certified. For example, I have done the beginner and the intermediate. And here, if I download the certificate, you have the TopWorksheet certificate that you have passed and complete the beginner certification offered by the platform. The same with the second one. And if you get the badge, you can share it in your social media. And this badge will be shown, as I have just shown you, in the public page. And the last thing I want to tell you is the premium plan that the platform has. You will always have the free option, of course. And we have also the gold premium, the gold plan, and the platinum plan. Each of them with their own advantages. If you have any doubt, you have here all the frequently asked questions. You can always contact anyway with the support of the platform. And the last thing is that we have added the school plans that is like the platinum plan, but with all the with a reduced price. You just have to ask for a quote and contact the team to ask for it. This is created for those teachers that are from the same school. They want to share like this plan, so the cost is reduced. So I think I don't leave anything without explanation. If you let me a second, I'm going to read some of the message that you have left. And if you have any question, I will try to answer. Okay, I think that all your answers have been, all your questions have been answered. So I really hope you like this webinar. This is going to be uploaded later to our YouTube channel. So you can always have the option to review it, okay? This will be always there as a support to you. So I think that we have finished. I hope you really enjoyed the webinar. See you soon in the next one, okay? Thank you for everything.